Hey there, this is John with NV Property Solutions, and back at you again with another video on, this time, how to avoid foreclosure on your house right here in Reno and the surrounding area. So if you have a house, whether it be in Reno, Sparks, Fallon, Fernley, Silver Springs, Stagecoach, Carson City, wherever in Northern Nevada, hopefully this video is right for you, especially if you're going through foreclosure and you're trying to figure out how to avoid it and either how to get out of it. So before I get into all that, I would ask you to please subscribe to the channel so you can see content just like this, plus more content as well. And of course, like the video and share it with all your friends, especially if they're going through foreclosure or they're getting ready to be that point where foreclosure is the only option. So anyway, let's just go ahead and jump right into it on how to avoid foreclosure on your house right here in the Reno area. So let me start with this. Foreclosure is broken down into, I want to say, about 2 to 3 parts. The first part is, if you don't pay, then the bank or your lender is going to try and get a hold of you to say, hey, what's going on? Why are you not paying? And how can we help you? And stuff like that. The second thing is, they've already moved past the point where they're trying to help you and they're trying to remedy the situation. Because if you've gone to this point and there's no contact or anything with the banker or the lender, then they're going to pursue the next step, which is pre-foreclosure. Pre-foreclosure is basically the bank and lender saying, "Hey, if you don't pay, we're going to take your house back, and we're going to either auction it off or do whatever." When pre-foreclosure hits, is you have a little bit of time to actually act. Once you get past pre-foreclosure into the actual foreclosure process and auction status, then there's really not much else you can do. While it's in pre-foreclosure, you're probably going to get a notice in the mail. There's going to be something along the lines of a notice of default. And depending on the situation, there also might be a list pendants that is filed on the property. And that's basically just saying, hey, we're suing you for the amount that you owe. And then they start the pre-foreclosure, or the notice of default follows after that if there's nothing that you can do about it. So anyway, that's a little bit of backstory behind foreclosure. If hopefully you're not to the point where you've already this is already not even brand new information to you, and you've already been past the point of no return. But anyway, this video is for the people that aren't past the point of no return. But this video might actually help you out, especially if you are in the later stages of foreclosure and you're about to be to the auction stage. So anyway, enough of rambling on and all that. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So how to avoid foreclosure is, the first thing is you can do is consider a loan modification. You normally, before you get to that point where the bank has already basically cut off all communication with you, or you've cut all the communication off with the bank and they've already filed list pendants, notice of default, notice of sale, and all this other stuff. Before you get to that point, you can actually call the lender and say, hey, what can I do? How can I make this work for you? And then they actually might consider a loan modification to help you out in your situation. Like I said in the beginning, if you're already past the point of no return, obviously a loan modification is not going to work for you. But if you can get it before you start going too deep into the rabbit hole, lenders usually want to help out the people that are in the house, especially if they're behind on a payment. If you're going to miss a payment, work with the bank as much as you possibly can. Obviously, there are some times that no matter what you do, you just can't remedy the situation. Such as a job loss or some unfortunate event that's forced you out of work and all that, and you can't pay. You've gotten yourself into a financial hardship. But in any case, loan modification is an option, especially if you're not past the point of no return. The next thing is, you can definitely list your house with a real estate agent. If you don't know any real estate agents, feel free to reach out to me. I can set you up with ones, because we work with realtors all the time. especially when we buy a house, fix it up, and then resell it. And even working with real estate agents, buying properties off the MLS, um, that are in such bad shape that they might not be able to know whether real retail buyer wants them. But in any case, listing your house with an agent is definitely an option. Um, the only thing is with an agent, there might be a little bit of downside, especially if you're in foreclosure. Um, they might ask you to fix some things up, and if you can't, then obviously they might list it as is, but they might not too. So you would just have to be wary of that. Again, we know agents that'll list it as is or list it in really good condition. Either way, we can got you covered. But with that is also too, the agent might make you list it as a short sale or whatever. But the best thing to do is just talk with a real estate agent, see what they can do for you, and especially if you're going through foreclosure or getting to that point where foreclosure is imminent. The next thing you could do, and this is I wouldn't say the final thing, but this is definitely the third thing. You can reach out to an investor such as myself at NV Property Solutions, and we can buy the house directly from you, give you a cash, pay you in cash, close whenever you want, whether it's 7 days or 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever your reason or case may be is that you need to sell it quickly. We can definitely help you out. And of course, there's no commissions or anything like that, at least from us. Now, if you go with another direct home buyer in the area, I would, if I were in your situation and say you didn't want to reach out to me directly and you want to go with a different one, I would ask them about commissions or fees or anything like that out right up front, so that way you know what to expect with them. And not all investors are all the same. Some of them do charge fees, some of them don't. My company is not one of them. We don't charge any fees or anything like that. And if anything, at the end of the day, say if we do come to an agreement, we usually pay all the closing costs, so you actually get more money in your pocket than say maybe even if you're listed with a real estate agent. So say for example, you did list your house with a real estate agent, and they, for a number of reasons, I like to use this number because it's a nice round number. Say you list it for $100,000 with an agent, and it sits for a little bit, and the longer it sits, the more you're gonna have to pay, obviously. But it's gonna eat into your profits. But say for example, the house sells relatively quickly with an agent. Say you put it on the market, you get an offer within an hour or so, and then now you have to wait for that buyer to come through and all that. So if you've sold a house before, there's nothing new. But if you've never sold a house, then obviously it's brand new to you information. But anyway, hopefully that video helped you out and at least get you an idea of where you can start to avoid foreclosure on your house right here in the Reno area. Anyway, like I said, that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully these videos help you out. If they don't, then obviously I can't help you with that. But if they do help you out, please consider giving this video a like, and of course share it with all your friends. And of course, subscribe to the channel. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you then. All right, take care.